Alright, so this is going to be part 2 of me covering all of your options on defense. In this video, I'm going to be covering all of your options when you're in the corner. This video is probably not going to be as long as the video I did covering all of your options mid-screen. Because mid-screen you have a few more options, or it's easier, I should say, to escape your opponent's pressure when you're mid-screen versus in the corner. Because of one important factor is you can create space when you're mid-screen. Like you can actually create space, like, you know, walking back or back dashing or jumping back. Like I say, you have space to your back. You can actually create space when you're mid-screen, right? You can effectively create space when you're not in the corner, right? You can do stuff like back dash to create space, you know, jump back, you know, just walk back. You know, you have room to create space when you're not in the corner, when you're mid-screen, right? Versus in the corner, you can't do that. As you can see, my back is to the corner and I can't create space, right? Even if I back dash jump back, they're still in my face, right? So, and that's what makes the corner so dangerous, is because it literally limits, it takes away options you have, what little options you have on defense. And yeah, this is a very scary situation, right? So I'm gonna cover how you can, you know, best defend yourself, or what you should be thinking about defensively, right, when you're in the corner. So there's a few ways. I mean, it's gonna be some of the things are just gonna be, some of the things are mostly gonna be the same as mid-screen. The main thing that is gonna be different is that you can't walk back and create space. Like this is not gonna be as viable as an option. That's the only thing. That walking back dashing is not going to be as viable of an option. Like walking back and crouch blocking, like I said in my other video, it's just not going to be as viable as an option to escape pressure, right? But the other things I covered, like just blocking it out, you know, is going to be a good option. Doing delayed button is still going to be good, and I'm going to go over a couple other things you can do. So first, let's act out a scenario like this. So let's say the opponent is frame trapping you. Let's say the opponent is frame trapping you, right? And he's kind of like keeping that space right here. You know, he's trying to keep that space. And let's say he's like caging you, right? That's what you call caging your opponent. Like you got him in the corner and you kind of keep in like a space to, you know, anti-air them if they get panic and try to jump. You see, Chun-Li could have anti-aired me right there, and you know, she was looking for the jump, you know. And he's like kind of like keeping that space and looking for me to do like a panic jump, right? Right. Right. So so one option is do that, just to block it out. Just block it out, right? And if you see that the Chun-Li is kind of like trying to keep that position, you can use that to your advantage and try to, like, you know, inch your way out of the corner, right? A really good option is just to block it out and inch your way out of the corner, right? So now I have a little bit of space, right? Right? It's a little bit of space, but a little bit of space can go a long way, right? Right? And get out of the corner, right? You only have a little bit of space, but, you know, a little bit of space is better than nothing. Like just having your back completely against the wall, because the whiff punish, right? You know, having that little bit of space can allow me to whiff punish something, you know, or, you know, challenge. Or you can do something like block it out and, you know, challenge, you know, right? That's a good option too, is just to block it out and challenge. Like, you see he's keeping that, you know, keeping that space. You can, you know, fight your way out of the corner. Or another thing you can do is, like, you know, if you see him keeping that space, you can surprise him with a forward advancing special, right? You see he's keeping that space. You can, you know, do a quick forward advancing special if you have one, right? To surprise him. Just throw that out, you know, because even if they block that, right? So let's say he's like right here and he's keeping that space. Even if he blocks that, look at all that pushback, and now you're completely out of the corner, right? Right? So that's another option, you know, like throw out a special move that, you know, does a lot of pushback. You know, that's -5, but that's still like, you know, pretty much safe, right? Only like, you know, a certain amount of things can punish that, and even if you do get punished for it, you can, you know, you got out of the corner, right? So that's another option you can do. Like, so if the opponent is kind of like just frame trapping you and like kind of like, you know, caging you, like he's keeping this space right here, trying to like cage you in the corner to bait you to do like a panic jump or something like that, use that space to your advantage just to inch out of the corner, right? Or you can, you know, challenge with a button. You know, he's preoccupied looking for a jump, you know, you can, you know, push him back, you know, challenge, right? And now you're out of the corner. Or you could do something like this, like, you know, he's keeping that space, you know, you can surprise him, you know, just throw that out there, and if he blocks it, look, you're out of the corner. Like, you know, other characters can do this too, like Balrog can use his rush punch. You can do a headbutt, or you can do a tackle, like an EX tackle from Urian, or you can do an EX fireball if you have or you have a fireball. You know, you can throw a fireball out there, put a slow fireball on the screen, and, you know, have the opponent try to block it, and, you know, and you can just inch out of the corner, right? So yeah, so if the opponent is like doing stuff like this, however, like kind of like, you know, staggering their pressure, like doing stuff like this, and, you know, right? Or let's not cover that first. Let's let's say the opponent is doing tick throws, right? Let's say the opponent does a tick throw, right? Right. So in my other video, I said you can walk out of the range, but as you can see in the corner, you can't do that. You can't walk out of the range when you're in the corner. It's just not gonna work. So while you're in the corner, you're gonna have to do something like a delay tech, because you can't press your button out of it, right? You're gonna have to do either delay tech, right? Or just take the throw, because you can get shimmied right here. If you go for a delay tech, you can also get shimmied. Right? So that's like, you know, the corner special. Like, people love to, like, you know, go for tick throws and throw you and then shimmy you. Shimmy becomes more of a threat in the corner, because you're more scared of throws when you're in the corner, because you pretty much have to take throws, because you can't you can't walk out of the range of throws. So that's why throws become more dangerous in the corner, and that's why shimmy becomes more of a factor, because people are more scared of throws. So you're gonna have to either delay tech or just take it, which is, you know, the safer option, just to take it, right? Another option I'm gonna go over is kind of like a risky option, and that's jumping over the throw, right? Just jump over. If you see the opponent is doing a tick throw, you can forward jump and cross them up, right? You know, do a forward jump. This is kind of like a hard read. This is a hard read, especially when you're in a tick throw situation. If you're in a tick throw situation, this is a very hard read, because the opponent can frame trap you and hit you out of that, right? But as you can see, it does a flip out animation, right? As you can see, it does a flip out animation. If you do a jump, it does a flip out animation. So you can kind of use that as your advantage. I did it late. you know. So that's not the end of the world if you like get hit and it flips you out, because if the opponent is like very aggressive with his frame trap, you can like kind of punish that third button, right? So it is a hard read, but it's not like hella risky, right? You gotta do it quick though. You gotta do it like instantly, right? Right. So yeah, that's another option you can do against people who like to do tick throws in the corner, just to do like a jump forward and cross them up, because even if they block that, the situation is in your favor because you pretty much side switch and now they're in the corner. So even if you don't even get a hit, it's better to, you know, jump out of the corner and, you know, just switch the situation, right? And if they try to frame trap you, if you do it early enough, you'll get a flip out animation and you can potentially get a punish, right? So it's not the end of the world. You know, it's kind of risky, but at the same time, like, you know, that flip out animation can kind of like work in your favor too, right? If the opponent like is kind of like very aggressive, you gotta do it quick though. You gotta be quick. You gotta do it like instantly, right? So yeah, that's an option against tick throws. If the opponent's trying to tick throw you, try to work in jump forward, like from your, you know, evasive maneuvers. Instead of doing backdash or jump back, try to, like, you know, jump forward and get out of the corner in certain situations, right? Because like I said, there's a 3-frame gap between in the tick throws. Tick throws is a 3-frame gap, and you can jump out of it. You can use that gap to, you know, jump. Okay. So that's another option. If the opponent, that's also an option if the opponent is like kind of like doing stagger pressure as well. Like I showed this like towards the end of my other video. Like if the opponent is staggering their pressure, you can, like, you know, use that gap to, you know, to get out of the situation. You know, if he's doing that, like if he's walking up and try to throw you. You know, you can get a lot of damage, right? Or you can do delay button. Delay button also works in the corner. It's one of the options that kind of like is interchangeable between the mid screen and the corner, like delay button, you know, right? You can still do delay button, you know. Right, so you can still use that option. And yeah, if the opponent trying to if he's trying to shimmy you, like, there's another option. Oh yeah, let's say the opponent is trying to like throw you. He's like doing like fake throw loops, right? Let's say he walks up and throw you. No, let's say he walks up and throws you. This is kind of like really dangerous in the corner too, because not only are people panicking in the corner, they kind of like shell up in the corner too. Like people, like, you know, not only do people panic in the corner by like pressing buttons, doing panic jump, another thing that's common in the corner is people shell up and they just, you know, just block and block and block. And walk up throw is kind of like, you know, makes walk up throw a strong option too, because you can take advantage of the opponent like shelling up and get free damage and just throw them. But keep in mind, like I said, throw loops are fake. They're not, you know, are not really a thing in the game anymore. So if the opponent like throws you and like walks up throws you, like there's a gap there. You can challenge that. Yeah, so the opponent like does something like this, you can jump that too. Like that's not real, that's fake. So you can jump over it, or you can, you know, or you can, like, you know, do a wake up button. So don't let the opponent get away with that, or don't let them get away with that like more than once. Like, recognize that that's fake, right? Take a chance and try to like jump out of the corner. Use that opportunity to jump out of the corner, or, you know, blow that shit up, right? The only thing is that the opponent can do like a meaty button, so they can kind of like mix that up with a meaty button. In that case, just maybe just take the throw, just take it. And if they go for a meaty button, like I said in my other video, they can't really pressure off that. So if they do a button, you can kind of like do like the first option, that's block it out, right? So that's another option. If the opponent's shimmying you, like if he's going for like a shimmy, like doing that, trying to like trying to blow up the delay tech, right? You can check them low, right? Because when you when you go for a shimmy, you're not blocking low. You see that? When you walk back out of there, you're not blocking low. So you can check them low. Low check them. Right? Right? Check them low. Now Birdie can't really like capitalize off of that because he doesn't have a special cancelable low forward. But if your character has like a decent special cancelable low forward, you can special cancel that and get a big combo and get out of the corner as well. So that's another option you have to consider against shimmy, is low checking shimmies. But that's kind of like, you have to be really paying attention to that, and it kind of requires good reactions, but it's definitely an option. It's something that I do, what I did with other characters too, try to check the shimmy. Right? And he's going for that. Check that shimmy. And blow that shit up, right? So yeah, those are all your options, man. Like I said, the same thing applies to the corner as well. Before you apply any of these options, it's best to get a read on your opponent and pay attention to how he likes to pressure. Like whether like oh, and another thing I didn't cover is V reversal and V shift. It works better. It works really good against people doing this. Like if they're like frame trapping you a lot, throwing a V reversal, it throws them back a lot. That's the thing. I think V reversal is more useful because it pushes them back a lot. Like that's a big not that. It does a pretty big knockdown. You can like gain a lot of space. Look how far it pushed him back, Like it pushes them back a lot. So doing a V reversal against people who like to just frame trap is very useful too. Very useful in the corner because you really need this space when you're in the corner. Like this knockdown is very useful when you're trying to like get out of the corner. That knockdown is very useful, right? Whereas mid screen is not all that useful, but in the corner it's very useful, right? You look how much space I gained from that V reversal, right? Or you can use V shift, that does like a pretty decent knockdown too, and it costs a little less V bar. Right? So that's another option you can use against people who like very aggressive. That mostly works against people who are very aggressive. Like they're constantly going, it's a button, like constantly doing like airtight block screens. That's the situation I would use V reversal against people pressuring like that. But like I said, it all comes with getting a read on your opponent. So I would say like I said, the safest thing you can do is just block it out. And if the opponent is like showing you that he's like just doing pressure, you can inch your way out of the corner, like walk forward and inch your way out of the corner. Or if he's doing tick throws and walk up throws, you can do delay button. or you can jump over, like jump forward is a good option too. It's a little on the risky side, but still, like, you know, it's a high reward situation. It's a high reward option too, because you switch sides and now you have them in the corner, right? So yeah, I hope this made any sense, man. You know, and I hope it helped anyone else out there. And you know, I'll be uploading some more videos when I can. And yeah, like I said, I hope it helped anyone else out there. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one.